the post-war armour is entering the arena, and this is a MLRS, which is a multiple launch rocket system, which is based on the chassis of the American, I think it was the M1110, I can't remember exactly. But so this is a multiple rocket launcher. You can see that the driver's hatch, or the armour on the front of the vehicle, on the driver's side, it's left-hand drive because it's an American chassis. You can see that this has been lifted up so the driver can see when those rockets are normally fired. The I'll not see anymore. So here we have the multiple system in service with the British Army. I think the rockets are 240mm rockets, not sure. Followed swiftly by a 4.3, swiftly followed by a Spartan, I think, then a Prince Gower armoured vehicle, a test vehicle, followed by Land Rover. One of my favourite vehicles in the 1950s and 60s, the Saracen armoured personnel carrier. And then one of the most honourable vehicles to drive is a Czech mobile anti-aircraft gun vehicle with two 30mm cannons on the back. And the multiple launch rocket vehicle, yet again. I did mention earlier on that because there's been no rally for 2 years, my commentating skills are going to be rusty. Kevin Brown is going past now in his Ferret, so I can't remember the exact designations of vehicles, but we have a nice selection of them here. The Prince Gower is going past, which is the 6-wheel vehicle with we believe is an anti-radar device. 432, there's more vehicles sneaking into the arena as we speak. Following the car, there's a lightweight Land Rover, which is a typical 600 statement, but it's heavier than the normal Land Rover. It's all the lightweight, in fact. Although it was a lightweight Land Rover, it was heavier than the standard Land Rover because it was beefed up to be dropped by parachute. When doing the commentary to keep track of what vehicles are going past. So I hope I can do the driver. So I mentioned the Czech, it's actually called the 2SV, which is the mobile anti-aircraft gun. Mobile anti-aircraft gun vehicle over in the far side of the green at the moment. Those 30mm cannons which are on that anti-aircraft gun vehicle, although it looks a very antiquated piece of kit, during the war in Bosnia. Hello Frankie, Frankie's going past in his Ferret. Which stands for Combat Vehicle Tractor, or Combat Vehicle Engineers. when this vehicle got itself, because it was semi-amphibious and it was used for clearing obstacles and minefields. If the vehicle got stuck in the river, they could fire this rocket, so this huge rocket went up into the air with a huge anchor at the one end, and and there's a winch on the back. You can see the winch rope on the back. So going past our commentary point now, we have an FP432. It's probably a 439 or some variant thereof. I'd say the last 2 years.
And you'll see that they are advancing in column, because at the moment they do not really suspect that the enemy are particularly near. So they're advancing in column towards the enemy line. Now they've been seen by the enemy, and so they're breaking out now into what we call artillery formation. 2 lines in single file, which are designed to take fewer casualties from artillery. And they've now formed up into a firing line, ready to engage the enemy. Right. I think
you could feel that heat and that distance. You can't you? It was really, it must have been terrifying. When it was really.
And now what I understand is that they will be calling down an artillery bombardment on the enemy position. Yes, there we go. And they're now putting down rounds on the enemy position. We also have a mortar team, you see, behind the lines, firing on the enemy. And they're advancing on the enemy effectively in 2 waves, with one section supporting the other. Second section now going forward, supported by covering fire from the other. This is fire and movement.
Oh, it's well that far out now, is it? Just for a minute, one person's down.
And then they are, and they're through the enemy. And they've made, right. So they're just going to head straight back to the campsite.
Coming over.
Some of them cover.
Diesel vehicles built by the Dodge Command, the Dodge Motor Company for the US Army. The problem was with the Dodge Command car, it was so obvious from its build and its shape that it was carrying high-ranking officers. But as soon as the enemy saw that the command car, they brought down a barrage because they knew that they would be killing the commanders of the unit. So there was always a high priority target. That's the downside. It is a nice vehicle to drive, lovely vehicle to drive, but. And then behind that we have a Tilly. Now, I can't tell you whether it's an Austin Tilly, a Hillman Tilly. So a voice behind me has just told me it's an Austin. We'll see when it goes back. But these were 800 weight vehicles built. They were all built before the war. and when the war started they made it into what we call a light utility vehicle, so behind the cab you have a little bit of a cargo space. So that's the second vehicle into the arena. Following that is the Bedford MW, a 1500 weight wagon. These were built in the many thousands by the British Army, and in fact even after the war they were still refurbishing and rebuilding the vehicle to send out into places like Libya and the various colonies. Behind that is the ubiquitous Jeep. I can't tell you from this distance whether it's a Willys or a Ford, but when it goes past hopefully we'll be able to tell you. Behind that there is a Dodge truck. I think it's a Dodge 3/4 tonner. A Dodge, it might be made in Canada. I think it's a Canadian truck, but I'm not 100% sure. That's the Dodge is followed by another Jeep, and then that's followed by a Chevrolet half-ton wagon, US Army, followed by Southern Desert Camouflage. So we're still debating what exactly it was. Now on the far side of the arena is ringing the bell and running like hell is a Bedford QL vehicle of the Army. It was a Canadian Dodge. That was right. Yes, there's a Bedford QL fire truck of the Army Fire Service. And it is a Chevrolet, I was right. It's a Midway when you're right. So we have the Bedford QL, the Army Fire Service, followed off again by a Jeep, and then a variant on the Dodge chassis. We quite often used to drive from here to the German border in our Dodge. We got on a boat in between. And we'd rally for the weekend. We would leave Holland or the German border on Sunday evening, and we'd drive all the way back home. And how on earth that poor child of ours got up, went to school in the morning, I'll never know. We were very, can't argue with it, can you? So, we've got the Army Fire Service. Ring that bell and run home to Christmas. So we have a 3/4 ton Dodge ambulance. These vehicles are actually built on the same chassis, but there was an earlier version, the half-ton chassis, which is slightly smaller. And then it's followed by the Diamond transporter, very sales vehicle, capable of incredible feats. Followed by an aerial motorcycle, and then the old flu machine is the Morris Commercial CS8, probably 1937, 1938 vintage, followed by another Diamond C, what we used to call the Baby Diamond C, which is the Diamond C Wrecker, and that's starting past the Coventry Point now. Another Bedford MW with the pneumonia screens. I've actually travelled from Great Britain all the way to the Ardennes in January in that at the lead vehicles coming past the Dodge command car.
Just saying one more trip now.
Very nice vehicles, very distinctive vehicles, and really quite valuable vehicles. They've always have been, they've always commanded a high price. See, I warned about you was a hill. Rules 1, 2, 3, cut. 1, 2, 3, cut. 1, 2, 3, double big cut. And then we have the Army School TU with their first down to Army School our Canadian Dodge of the British he showed him a French Dodge, it wasn't coming on the markings there. These are US markings.
And that's another camera.
Yes. I've just been asked if that was a Dodge. There's always so much to see. But coming into the arena on the far side of the arena is a really rare beast. And that vehicle is the GMC. There are some GMC trucks, 66s, Deuce and a Half, you'll see them down in the vehicle display area. The way the Americans describe their vehicles, that it's a 6x6, and the normal, what we call the normal Jimmy is a CCKW. I won't go into why it's called a CCKW, but it is. That particular vehicle is an AF. I don't know why they keep attacking this commentary point, because it's people, really. Oh yes, this is a newly built, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is a newly built commentary point. I'll talk about that later on, but it's absolutely superb to see this AFA X with an X on the end. I mean, look at that, that is absolutely... Oh, if you
you can live in there.
If you like big Jimmys, that... Oh, look at you, you've got a kitchen in the... Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're slightly ahead of time, but not to worry.
You're going to get all the
We
half
have
tracks.
a parade of World War II armour. And the first two vehicles into the arena are in fact the famous Universal Carrier. And the Universal Carriers were built by the MG car company down in Coventry. And these were built and continue to be built because the factory was only big enough to build things like the size of the Carrier. Any other armoured vehicle any bigger, the factory wasn't big enough. So they continued to produce these vehicles right until the end of the war. And the first vehicle we see coming into the arena is in fact a Universal Carrier built in Canada. I think they were actually built by the Ford Motor Company in Canada, I'm not quite sure. But you can tell that it's Canadian built because the headlights are round like a big pan. So as per usual, sneaking past the Universal Carriers, there's an M8 Greyhound armoured car. This was built by the Ford Motor Company. It's armed with a 37mm gun in the turret. Very fast, very effective reconnaissance vehicle. The major problem, and to protect the drivers, they started putting sandbags on the floor to protect the drivers from mines. And coming past, I mentioned earlier on, the Dragon Wagon. Now here she is, one of the biggest second World War armoured vehicles ever built. And this vehicle in fact is a tractor unit. It's an armoured tractor unit for a tank transporter. But of course there's no ferry there. So here we have going past the unit now, next is the British Universal Carrier. And overtaking that we have the M16. We have the M16 gun motor carrier, followed by another GMC M16 motor gun carrier. Coming past now by Mr. Phelps is the M18 Hellcat. This is the unique vehicle. As you can see around it, it looks like it's got rubber tubes around it. In fact, it has got rubber tubes. These are hollow rubber tubes connected to a canvas screen. And the vehicle has a generator built in, a compressor I beg your pardon, not a generator, and the compressor is started up. The rubber tubes fill with air, the canvas screen rises up and it displaces the weight of water of the tank, displaces that, and the tank actually floats. So these tanks but the Valentine tanks were built first, to prove the concept and also to train the tank crews. Now when this tank goes past you, if you look at the back you'll see a propeller on the back of the tank. This propeller was actually recovered by Royal Navy divers from a Valentine.
Running, you want the young lads up front there.
That's a lot of...
That's how I break German.
It smells lovely.
get to that first boom goes, you basically that pizza.
The German troops are coming back, disheartened, disorganised, heading back to the homeland, having been rounded, defeated. So the top of the field, there are German trenches, German troops acting as a rear guard, and to keep the road open so that the soldiers can come back. So obviously there are some barrages taking place. It's a bit bloody late sounding the sirens now, mate. It started. So the Germans obviously have now realised that their predicament has got worse. And so they're running back as fast as they can before the Allied army comes in. So I have the first of these tank destroyers coming in. Very soon we'll have the Allied troops coming back, following up behind the armour. And over on the far side of the arena, the armoured personnel carriers are now coming into the arena to bring in infantry. And we can see the Allied infantrymen coming in now, the south side of the arena. We can have the British soldiers following in behind the Valentine DD tank. The American infantry is coming out of their trenches, getting up behind the armour. Unfortunately for the Germans, they have very little way of heavy equipment, having lost it all in places in the Falaise Gap. So we can see the infantry is hiding behind the MAC. There's still artillery barrages falling down. I think the artillery barrage on the far side is from the German artillery, but it's back behind the line. So the Axis troops. The Axis troops are putting up a spirited defence. So they're running forward. It would appear that the Axis troops have halted the advance of the Allies to the Romans. The infantry advance. So the British infantry are getting down, lying down on the ground, make themselves as small as possible. They don't have the advantage of armoured vehicles to protect them. The Americans are coming up closer and closer behind their armour. Germans have done. The Germans have realised that literally fighting through this battle. As more Allied armour comes in on the far side of the arena. There's even more Allied infantry coming in from the far side. I think the Allied armour is gradually having an effect upon the Germans, although it's falling back. The artillery is still raining down. Bloody hell, I've just missed it. It doesn't seem to be much for the Germans to do to stop the advance, the gradual advance of the American armour, the Allied armour. It's extremely difficult to do possibly. And there's not many that can fall back onto the last line of defence of the German trenches at the top of the hill. The Allies continue to move forward. The close cover from behind the artillery. Few remaining German soldiers are now decided. There is no point in resisting any further. The end cannot be far behind. From the comms report, it's virtually impossible to see any active troops actually fighting against the Allies at the moment. I think we can safely say that the utterly in vain. And it's only a matter of time before we see a white flag flying over the German trenches. Nevertheless, the Allies continue to advance. More troops filling in the gaps. The American infantry is now making a final final attack on the German trench at the top of the hill. Well, they think it's all over. It is not. It appears that there's very, very little resistance of the German trenches. Apart from some sporadic small arms fire, I think the enemy resistance is well and truly overcome. And there it is all over now. The siren sounds the end.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, give another round of applause, please. These lads are stripping in kit, all the kit they're wearing. It's quite heavy. It does get warm once you start running about and you're 45-year-old. These guys who put this on for you today come from all over the country. They come up to Yorkshire to bring the fields to life, to try and recreate those wartime battles. So we have obviously military vehicle owners who are passing out the vehicles. We've got the re-enactments passing out the uniforms, the citizens, the actual divisions and the goods that are shown. We have great sense, it's passing it, and we try and bring it up to the fields of Yorkshire to share with you people here. So we've got American groups, we've got British groups, and we've obviously got the German, the Axis elements, all re-enactors, all very dedicated. The vehicles will just look to behind the groups on the ground.